Welcome back, everyone. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE, here at theCUBE's NYSE studio, here on the balcony overlooking the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Of course, we have our Palo Alto studio, connecting Silicon Valley and Wall Street. Tech and money is converging and converged, continues to converge. This is part of our Crypto Trailblazers ongoing series, where we feature the leaders in the crypto and blockchain infrastructure. We're bringing in the game-changing, generational changing technology, and the financial money system is being disrupted and enabled at the same time as we usher in the modern era. Dmitry is back. Okay, he is the co-founder of QuickNode, a leading developer platform on blockchain. Also an original gangster of theCUBE, Crypto Trailblazers program with the NYSE Wired community. It's part of our first program. Welcome back. Good to see you. Yes, all right. This program is so exciting because there are so many crypto trailblazers. Well, there's a lot of OGs who are kicking ass, taking names, and then you have a whole nother flight of entrepreneurs coming in. It's very entrepreneurial. It's a really fun market. It's great to do these series because we're just showcasing and getting great data on what's happening. So you were on in March. First question for you is, what's new on your end? A lot's changing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we released a new Streams product, we released a new webhooks product. It's all about delivering data reliably and quickly. We upped our Solana offerings. We run a validator. We significantly improved our performance on Solana. And we probably onboarded 20 new chains to our platform. So now we're at over 85 chains, and that's over 105 networks. So broad coverage of data in the blockchain space.
I'm really glad that you're back, because one of the things that we've observed on the Crypto Trailblazers program is the proliferation of chains is happening, public and private. The old guard and new guard are interacting, which is great sign. It's not a replacement. There's going to be some overlap. Some people will lose some territory, but that's a good thing. Collaboration is really critical. So that's a foundational infrastructure maturization. That's going to bring in a massive tsunami of developers.
That's right.
And we see that clearly. We believe it. We report on it. That's your business. Talk about what you guys are doing so people don't know your company. This phenomenon is happening very, very fast. That there's a development market, and it's not just apps. It's systems and apps. So there's utility, there's things going on, but there's a system integration.
Right.
It's like an abstraction, like in computer science. You build on top of things.
Right.
Chains are everywhere. Now you build on top of them. You have stable coins.
Correct.
Things are lining up.
Yeah, so the public blockchains, having the data auditable, available, and the convergence of the traditional markets, especially that's what's happening now with the change in administration, with there being regulatory unlocks. We are now seeing the traditional markets looking to get involved, where previously this was a little difficult for them. They were shying away from that. So we just recently did an event in the Solana Skyline, and for institutional clients, where we saw folks from Miston Labs, Goldman Sachs, MasterCard, Deloitte, and they're excited to be working in the space again. Some of those folks have been in the crypto positions in their respective companies for multiple years, and they were like the odd kid out. And now, they're expanding their teams, they're expanding that technology and looking to get and catch this wave.
QuickNode is helping people build on-chain applications.
That's right.
You provide developers and businesses the tools to do that, which is beautiful. Picks and shovels.
That's right.
For the mature of the infrastructure. What are some of the use cases that came out of that meeting? Obviously, big names. They have, IT's no stranger. JP Morgan Chase spends $13 trillion annually. I'm sorry, 13 billion annually on their technology budget. That's a big number, but it's just because they have team, everyone else does. So developing is not new.
Right.
What's the difference now? What are you seeing? What's the feedback at that meeting? What are they honing in on? What's the focus?
Absolutely. So the traditional markets and the rules that they abide by are in some ways polar opposites of what blockchain was built for and stands for. And they're trying to navigate and bridge that gap so the traditional markets and the traditional equities can merge and function on this new network, this new internet, this new layer of the internet. So that was a common theme.
And what are some of their concerns, questions? It's almost like a living RFP. I can imagine they're probably getting requirements.
Right.
You know, what are some of the things they're looking for?
Compliance.
What are some of the, compliance is number one?
Compliance, security, you know, a lot of these companies, they have internal databases, and you know, even like trading strategies. How do you prevent reverse engineering? How do you, anti-tracking? But also in the same token is how do you keep track of, you know, which wallets hold what, which trades were done, analytics around all of that. And this is something that QuickNode is helping with. So we're SOC 2 compliant, SOC 1 Type 2, SOC 2 Type 2 this year. We just got our ISO 27001. We're a team of 120 all around the world. We have 24/7 round support. So these companies, they come to us and we give them the level of service that they expect.
We were just together at the blockchain breakfast with Solana, at the Solana office. They put on, Nick and team. The title was State of Crypto, The View from Washington. So we had some folks in there from the Solana side, as well as some policy makers. What was your takeaway from that breakfast? What was the vibe?
Right. So the Solana team that's working to drive crypto policy within Washington, they're doing great work because it's quite ambiguous because this is a new technology, and to help shape the policy that will shape the next decades and what finance will run on, in my opinion, everything. This is the future of everything, not just finance. And so for them to hear that they're working towards that and trying to influence positive change, it's great. It's great to hear. And
the president of the futures was there. Trabu was there, land from NYSE. He actually was from ICE, actually, their parent company. They're huge in the data business, and they have an interest in this. He has a very pro-crypto stance.
Excellent.
And it reminds me of the early internet days when the U.S. government protected the DNS because it was invented in the United States.
Yeah.
They created kind of a heat shield.
Right.
But also there was some work being done. It was like, let the self-govern, let the players, the builders build.
Yeah, let them innovate.
Give them some freedom. Yeah. But let chaos reign a little bit, and then reign in the chaos. Andy Grove's favorite expression. I love that. I use it all the time. Yeah. So, okay, what's that going on look like for you? What needs to happen? What's that policy, in your opinion? Because we have to get the old and new together. That's a generational story that it's not well told, but it's happening. The young and old are working together. New guard and old guard are connecting. Yeah. They need to.
Well, it's this recent 180 where we're seeing tweets from the SEC that are very pro-crypto. We're seeing legislation that's very pro-crypto to allow innovation to happen, and that allows developers to not be afraid to experiment with this technology and like I said, innovate and create something new and create something that's more efficient, something that can handle higher throughput. Yeah. So it's great to see that this new legislation has ushered in not only a new wave of developers, but also existing businesses are now able to experiment without being afraid to be punished for it.
I met a great contact there, Ryan. He's a lawyer. I think he said he was the outside counsel for Solana. Anyway, he knows the game down there. He had a great line. He said that there's a task force been put together, and they're open for business. Mm-hmm. They're actually, you use the word open. Mm-hmm. That's a good sign because, remember all these big secular trends, like say open source software, doesn't survive without the Apache Foundation, doesn't survive without the Linux Foundation. Mm-hmm. So you have this kind of communal self-governance. Now with the chains populating up, it's like open source projects. I mean, it's very similar. I mean, it is open, it's transparent. You got developers, they love projects. Some fail, some don't.
Right. Well, the internet opened up that freedom to create and go global from day one, and having that kind of freedom in the blockchain space is, I think, that's progress.
Yeah, I think Solana's doing a great job. I like how they're thin organization too. They're not bloated. They're very thin at the top. on your business, what's your focus right now? What are your to-do items? Share, you don't have to give away any property secrets. I mean, it's transparent. You guys are already out in the open. But you got a great opportunity. You're helping people get on board.
Yeah, of course.
You're an on-ramp.
Sure. So we have built a best-in-class base layer, and so we're looking to build products higher up the stack and then bundle that up to create full-on solutions. So when the institutions come to us and say, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z, we will have the solution for them. And being in the space since 2017, we've developed a network of partners we can act as a router, so we can connect them to the right folks. Let's say if we don't have the solution in-house, or that's not something that we're focusing on. But yeah, the future is about building solutions.
Yeah, and those are systems. At the end of the day, it's a network.
Sure.
A network. What is the key criteria if someone's putting up a strategy document together? Let's say I went to ChatGPT and said, what's my strategy document? Create a draft of a strategy document for onboarding my assets on chain or onboarding my business on a chain. What would the answer be, and what would be your role in that answer?
So we do offer professional services, which can help navigate certain regulatory things, compliance. It depends on the use case. Because blockchain has such a broad range of use cases, it's case by case, project by project, solution by solution. So at the end, also that base layer that we have, that infrastructure layer, it involves reading and writing to and from the blockchain. So that's going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. So yeah.
You've been around since 2017, co-founder. I have to ask the co-founder question. What's it like now? And look back at 2017, scope the change trajectory, where we are today, difference between the 2 points, from origination time to now. What's been the biggest change for you guys? Just maturity?
Maturity is definitely one of them. Scale, where certain wallets, like for example, wallets or exchanges had maybe tens of thousands of users. Now they're having to handle tens of thousands of users. There's way more assets than before, so we have to find ways to deliver that data reliably without error. That's very important. Data accuracy is super important. Because when there's lots of money on the line, you have to have the data be super accurate, and you have to get it fast. There are some apps where if you receive the data in 150 milliseconds, it doesn't work. Trading strategies
data loss is a killer.
Yeah.
You can't have data loss.
Or if you deliver that data within 50 milliseconds, which in many cases across all the chains we do, then that the app works, the strategy works.
What's the biggest blocker for you that you need to see taken out from the Washington crowd? Is there anything that's on your mind?
From what I hear, what's going on right now is the right pace. It's the right direction. I don't have any particular roadblocks. We still kind of work on we're still working in the data center space. We're working with networks. Something's storing this data and sending this over. It's atop of all the other technologies that have been built decades prior.
Yeah.
So, and that's already been well developed, well established. The rules are there. So unlocking, loosening up the regulations and providing guidance. So the new age of developers, especially with AI and robotics, I see that converging within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
That's where the focus should be in Washington.
I love the phrase. I've always loved the phrase programmable money. One, because the word programmable's in it. Because I think, software's going to do a lot of good work. This is coming. It's here. Yeah. What's programmable money mean to you? Programmable systems. What has to be in place for the frictionless programmability of money systems?
I think a good amount of it is already there with smart contracts and some of these new technologies that are being developed to be able to program money, to your point. I think it's heading in the right direction.
Yeah. The thing I love about these financial institutions is that they kind of realize, Dmitry, that they're there, and they know they have to lean in. So they're putting a lot of people on the street to do that, which is a great sign. So I always ask the question, what's the confidence boost in your mind for people? Because the enthusiasm's high. confidence is where they need to see. They don't, I mean, it's financial training, they have zero downtime. They have high bar.
Right.
What's the confidence layer look like? What needs to be in place, or what, from a confidence standpoint, what do you guys organize around to give them the confidence?
Right. So from our end, it is compliance. It is we already offer 4 nines uptime SLAs. At the end of the day, it is the maturity. The longer a blockchain is around, and the longer the blockchain technology is around, like Bitcoin's super stable, Ethereum is very stable. Solana has been doing great work, and they're very stable right now. It's just about doing the thing.
Get that foundation layer right.
Let people experiment and break things, and then you fix them, and then you move on to the next. It's like phases.
Yeah. Step by step, ratchet game. Keep moving it forward. All right. Put a plug in for your company. What are you working on? What's on your mind? Are you guys hiring? What's your focus? Put a plug in for what you guys are working on.
Sure. I mean, we're helping build the future of everything. We provide institutions and businesses access to blockchain data, whether you're building, whether you're a business or an enterprise, and customers like Coinbase, Paxos, Circle, Binance, and Big Four, and also several Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. We're looking to meet them where they need to be. So, take their traditional processes and help them incorporate all the benefits of blockchain, all the efficiencies of blockchain.
Dmitry, great to have you on your Trailblazer. Again, part of our inaugural class. We're going to continue this series, super popular. Thanks for being part of the Wired
Pleasure.
community and program and theCUBE. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. I'm John Furrier in theCUBE. We're doing our part. We're transparent. We're sharing the data as fast as we can, talking to the experts. The Crypto Trailblazers program as part of the NYSE Wired and theCUBE initiative is really about talking to the leaders who are making it happen and sharing the latest data we can get, best practices, use cases, and just what people are thinking about, and sharing that with the community. Thanks for watching.